My name is Roberta, and Jackie and I are the Gracehill Moravian Church archivists, and we are sitting here just in front of the archives. We were asked to research the events in the life of the church in 1921, and our interest really deepened as the time went on. We were struck by the fact there wasn't much political comment on the situation at the time, and that things were just going on as normal.
According to the Gracehill diaries, two sad events happened in August of that year, with the deaths of two young boys aged 13 and 12. One was killed at his own front door instantaneously, having ridden his bike into a trap. The other was drowned in the River Main when he was out swimming. Apart from these sad stories, life in Gracehill went on pretty much as usual. Buildings, including the church, were painted, paths were cleared, the burial ground was tidied up, fences were erected, and in the village square, a fair was held to raise funds for the erection of a new belfry, and also for the erection of a memorial in the church to those members of the Moravian Church who had served in the First World War.
In January 1921, plans were made for this memorial. It was to be made of brass and mounted on black marble. It was to contain all the names of those who had lost their lives or who had taken part in the First World War. One thing unusual about it is the fact that it recorded the women's names as well as the men's, and that was unusual for that time. It was unveiled on the 29th of May 1921 by Mrs. Rogers. The diary records that 275 people were present. It was a cold and showery day, and the offering was £5.13
The only mention in the Gracehill diaries of any trouble in the area concerning partition was the fact that a trip by the Moravian congregation here to Belfast Moravian churches was called off because of the disturbed state in the city. The Belfast Moravian church members had to make detours to actually get to their church services, and in Dublin it was decided by the Moravian church to hold its weekly evening meetings in the House of Members because again of the disturbed state of the city. And in 1922 the Moravian church was actually closed because of the fierce fighting around it.
In his recollections, James Mitchell, who was a member of the Gracehill Moravian Church and a local school teacher, he records it like this. In 1920, Ulster got the right of self-government, and immediately opposition arose to render such government impossible. Incendiary fires broke out in all directions over Ulster, and bridges were blown up, so that Ulster people had a time of trial. But this was overcome by the exercise of patience and perseverance.